Sir, it's 11:30 now. Shall we begin, Mr. Kaushik?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Pleasant morning, one and all. On behalf of the management of Saranathan College of Engineering, Secretary, Principal, Head of the Department, Professors, staff and students of Saranathan College of Engineering. Once again, we extend a warm welcome to the second session of this fifth day FDP on cognitive radio, antennas, and millimeter wave communication. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all once again. I would like to extend a hearty welcome, a warm welcome to our beloved professor, Dr. Shanmuganandan sir from Pondicherry University. He has readily consented to be the resource person for this second session of the fifth day. Thank you so much, sir. Amidst your busy schedule, you have accepted our invitation. We are really grateful to you. May we now call upon our beloved professor, Professor A. Shamim Banu, to welcome the gathering and also introduce the subject expert to the audience. Please, madam, over to you.
Good morning, all, and warm welcome to you all for the session 2 of this FTP. With great pleasure, I would like to introduce our resource person, Dr. T. Shanmuganathan, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics Engineering at Pondicherry University. He received his UG degree in ECE from University of Madras and his Master's in Communication Engineering from Madurai Kamaraj University. He was awarded his PhD degree in the field of antenna engineering from NIT Trichy with a gold medal for the best thesis. So far, he has 22 plus years of rich experience of teaching. He has 22 plus years of rich experience of teaching. He has published 210 journals in peer-reviewed SCI, Web of Science, Scopus Index journals, and 42 papers in conference publications, including IEEE Explored. He has published 12 book chapters in Springer Nature and Elsevier. Our professor is a fellow of Antenna Test and Measurement Society, elected by ISRO scientist and senior member of IEEE USA, member of IEEE Antennas Propagation, Circuits and Systems, and Microwave Theory. He is an editorial board member of ICT Act Journal of Microelectronics. He received more than 25 Best Paper Awards from IEEE and Springer conferences. He served as an office bearer of IEEE Circuits and Systems Society from the year 2016 to 2019. So far, he conceptualized and initiated 5 flagship IEEE-sponsored conferences in India in the field of antennas and microwave. For the year 2020 to 2021, he is elected as chairman for IEEE Antenna and Propagation Society, Madras chapter. So far, 10 PhD scholars successfully completed their research under his guidance, and currently he is guiding 4 research scholars. He has completed 2 sponsored projects worth 57 lakhs. He is a potential reviewer for IEEE.
Hello.
Madam,
Hello,
your
ma'am.
voice is not audible.
Shamim, ma'am.
Shamim, ma'am, your voice is not audible. Hello.
Shamim Banu, madam.
Okay, no issue. I will start. Please permit me to present.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has been already on host control. You can just proceed, sir. You can proceed. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience caused. It may be due to network.
Sorry, sir.
From
I
us.
No issue,
reconnected,
no
sir. Shall I proceed, sir?
No problem, no issue.
Yes, fine. We will go ahead at the end, please. We will give it to sir.
Sir?
Sir will continue. Yes, sir, it is visible. We will give the control to sir. Over to sir. Sir, let him present it. We will see to that at the end it is presented very well to the audience. Please. We seek your apology, sir, because of the
No,
network.
no
we
issue,
could
no
not-
issue. Okay,
Yes,
I
yes,
will take
please,
care. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, all, for this opportunity. First of all, I thank Dr. Mohan as well as Mr. Kaushik and other organizing team members for this opportunity. So today I'm going to talk about the millimeter antennas. So before going to the millimeter antennas, we should know the millimeter wave technology. Then only we can know about the millimeter antennas. So the techniques and technology is very important for millimeter antennas. So these are the contents, but I am not going to cover all those things because this is in-depth millimeter technologies. Just introduction only I'm going to give through this presentation. So first, initially, so what are millimeter waves? Because we know all the low frequencies and medium frequency and then microwaves, all those things. So microwaves up to 30 gigahertz. So beyond 30 to 300 gigahertz is called a millimeter wave. That is, the wavelength is covered 1 centimeter to 1 millimeter. So this particular range is called the millimeter waves. So this millimeter wave range is only useful for the 5G communication, particularly the other upper frequency. So 5G communication is two frequency bands are there. One is sub 6 gigahertz, as well as the next one is the millimeter frequency band. Particular country is selecting particular frequency, resonant frequency different for different countries for the upper frequency, particular millimeter waves. Then beyond millimeter waves, that is called sub-millimeter wave, that is from 300 gigahertz to 3000 gigahertz. So after that, this is coming under terahertz technology also, because next generation 6G and all the low frequency of terahertz range will cover up to 170 gigahertz, 110 to 170 gigahertz will be covering for the 6G communication. That already the research is started in 6G. So you know all those things, AM broadcast, FM, and other even ISM, industrial scientific medicine, and then communication wireless, WLAN, TCS, 5G, IoT, satellite communication, then remote sensing, security systems, UWB, radar. So many things are coming under this up to this start from the 1 kilometer to 1 millimeter wavelength. So, you know, this is the very basic equation to calculate the wavelength. Wavelength, lambda is equal to C by F. Through this, we can calculate the wavelength, because in the higher frequencies, wavelength is very important. So, through this, only every signal is passing. So, why millimeter wave? Actually, millimeter wave is not a normal wave. Actually, it is atmospheric wave. Actually, so we have to consider the atmospheric condition. Then. So we should consider these things. So in this attenuation is you can see this the C level to this Ka band to W band, because this frequency particularly from 35 to 120, that is comes under Ka as well as W band. These frequencies, the H2O as well as the oxygen level is showing in this thing, the attenuation level. So mainly this millimeter is considering atmospheric attenuation level. So what are the advantages of millimeter waves? So millimeter wave is considering entirely 10 millimeter to 1 millimeter range, that is 30 to 300 gigahertz. And also this is a very short wavelength actually, particularly. So that's why it is the covering area is very, very short range, minimum distance coverage. Also, the larger bandwidth is available at atmospheric conditions, particularly at the resonant frequency of 34, 35, then 94, 140, 220 gigahertz. And high data rate is possible in this particular frequencies, resonant frequencies. And then even these particular frequencies even used for the machine-to-machine communication, then vehicle radar communications. So many applications, particularly millimeter wave, because millimeter wave is the unlicensed band as well as it is not widely used. Below the microwave only all the frequencies are all the frequency bands are covered. So all the frequencies are congested. So that's why this millimeter wave, particularly these ranges are unlicensed as well as it is not widely used. Also, the very more accuracy and then a high absorption, and then there is mainly there is a short wavelength. Now, what are our emerging applications of millimeter waves? Is so many things. Starts from 5G to then even nowadays for the even ISM also they are particularly 60 gigahertz and 50s. All the things are covered, and then vehicle radar particularly 77, then 84, and then 110. All the frequencies are covering, and for the vehicular applications, even radar as well as spacecraft, and then many military applications, they are using these millimeter waves. Also, this very high data rates, it is covering under up to 10 Gbps. Initially, this microwave is up to 1 Gbps only possible. It can be extended up to 100 Gbps also. And also this particularly for this remote sensing applications, microwave remote sensing. Then some of the issue is an high attenuation. That is because of this atmospheric consideration. This is having very high attenuation. Then that's why it is a short range coverage is possible. The emerging applications of millimeter wave, like air defense systems, particularly this homing radars at 35, 94, and then high resolution Doppler sensors with the inbuilt antennas. Even already said, even in the machine-to-machine communication for the accidents and all well happening, that is the collision of avoidance, and then level detection, and intrusion alarms, and then motion detection. Many applications in this. To this car-to-car communication also, particularly the 60 gigahertz is widely used in Japan and other countries. Because very short distances, it can be very easily communicated using this millimeter wave. And then all these transceivers are required a very low power, and also it is a high data rate, as well as this particularly this frequency 60, 70, and 80 gigahertz. Also, scalable phased array antennas also they're using at Q band, that is a center frequency of 40 gigahertz and above. And also surveillance systems like 94 gigahertz and then 140, 220. All the things are useful for this millimeter applications, and also wireless high definition radios. That is also high definition radios as well as videos. Up to 10 meters range can be possible with this one. And also this standards of wireless, that is Wi-Fi 802.11n and 802.11 AC. So this is the IEEE standards are used for particularly for this range. And also it can be used even 10 to 28 Gbps data rate also. And then even smart antenna technologies, the line of sight as well as the antennas are 57 to 64 particularly. This is the technology, the SiC technology, silicon integrated circuits technology also used particularly this frequency 57 to 64. Also the size also reduced. If you are going for the very high frequency, size can be reducible. And also even the satellite with the millimeter wave sounder, it is the picture is showing. This is taken from this IEEE transaction on geosense and remote sensing 2009. So you can see this satellite image. So in this, you can see that these frequencies are used like 23.8 and 31.5, 50 to 60 gigahertz, 89, 83 gigahertz, as well as also this is the already said that 57 to 64. In that this 89 as well as 183, these frequencies are used for this useful for the temperature sounding as well as humidity, all those things. And also millimeter wave, particularly for the medical applications, even in using this electromagnetics. So we can use for the biological effects for this millimeter wave range. Also, this is even the effects of chemotherapy for the cancer system. Nowadays, microwave or millimeter waves to detect the cancers, even for breast cancers as well as some other blood cancers, can be detectable using this millimeter wave technologies. And then, so here you can see this is the example of a 60 GHz cavity system to measure blood sugar level. This is medical application actually. Really for the ISM band, even millimeter range also. Normally, ISM band means people think about only 2.45 or 2.4, 2.45, 5.2, 5.8 up to 6 only, but that is a low frequency. Even millimeter range also nowadays it is useful for the medical applications. Also, some futuristic disruptive technologies using these millimeter waves, even for the wireless short-range communication, even IoT. Then in terms of space, iOS, then fog computing, then software-defined network, then millimeter components development for 5G wireless communication, and then frequency bands. That is interest of 28, 38, 60 GHz, then 71 to 76, 81 to 86 GHz are frequency bands are very useful for these applications. And then distributed antenna networks for super green communication also. In that range also green communication also millimeter wave is very useful. So before going to this, the transmission line for realizing millimeter wave circuits and subsystems are needed. So you know the basic transmission, conventional transmission like coaxial, two-step parallel plate, wave gates, and optical fibers, all those things. The next level is planar transmission. So planar transmission is itself the strip line, microstrip line. Even microstrip line itself so many variants in that suspended microstrip, and then thin line, then suspended thin line, then NRD, non-radiative guide. So that is also useful for this particular millimeter range. So this can be useful up to 220, 300 GHz. So this is the comparison between all these planar transmission lines. So microstrip, suspended microstrip, then thin line, then suspended strip line, and then NRD. So all those things. In that, if you see a suspended strip line is useful up to 220, then this is up to 200 NRD thing. And so this is the related technologies. So with microwave millimeter wave with the ICs, you can see the poly Stetra technology, then CMOS, LTCC, low temperature ceramic technology, and then 3D wafer level integration technology. So these are the technologies are useful for the millimeter wave for the fabrication. Then so these are the basic planar transmission line. This microstrip line. So this is the conductor, ground plane, and dielectric, and then conductor. So this is the electric and magnetic field distribution. This is the electric field and surrounding by the magnetic field distribution. And also the propagation of mode of propagation is the quasi-TEM, because of the 50% is the fields are towards the substrate. And then 50% will be the open air. So that's why it is not fully a TEM, so it is a quasi-TEM, similar to the quasi-government concept. And then this is the design part of this microstrip line. These are the very fundamental equations to calculate the characteristic impedance, as well as here instead of epsilon r, epsilon effective, due to the fringing effect. This can be used. So epsilon instead of epsilon r, so epsilon r is equal to epsilon 1 by epsilon r plus 1 by epsilon r effective. That is very useful for this to calculate this effective epsilon. And then so here transfer resonance TE mode are used for this microstrip line. And then this is the surface wave effect of microstrip line. So here you can see this is to calculate the TE as well as TM mode for this cutoff frequency. And so here we can consider 50 ohm microstrip line with the alumina substrate of thickness 0.635 mm. So with that we can calculate this transverse resonance as well as TETM mode of this frequency, cutoff frequency we can calculate. Here you can see this the upper frequency limit is increasing, and also the thickness or height of the substrate can be reduced, as well as epsilon r also can be reduced. So this graph is showing this the impedance, then effective dielectric constant with the W by H, the width and height of the substrate. So suppose the lower limit for Z is 20, and then upper limit is the impedance is 120 ohms. Then attenuation for 50 ohm microstrip versus the height for various epsilon r. So here the different epsilon r are used. One is the alumina, that is 9.6, and then fused quartz 3.78, and then RT doride epsilon r is equal to 2.22. So in RT doride itself, different substrates are there. So here consider 2.2, because of this is very flexible as well as very efficient one for this particular frequencies. So we cannot use the FR4 for this frequencies. FR4 is normally very lossy material. Then here you can see the microstrip can be considered with the shielded. So it can be put it in one box, rectangular box, and then we have to consider, because of the lossy signals can be avoided using this shielded microstrip. So this is the cutoff frequency with the one, and then broadband microstrip circuit development using this circuit. Here it can be combination of this low pass filter and then the ring resonators, all these combinations. So this is useful for 26.5 to 40 GHz. It is like a mixer, so mixer circuit, and then so here you can see this fabricated this mixer, the low pass filter with the mixer, all the things. This is done with the ADS software, and then this one was fabricated. And also this is useful for 26.5 to 40 GHz. The graph is showing this the frequencies with this, the scattering parameters as well as this, the convolution losses are compared with the simulation and measured results. And ultra broadband microstrip circuit development, particularly 18 to 40 GHz mixer. This is the like a mixer balloon design. Here you can see this parameters, S parameters, S11, S21, and S31 is compared in the different colors like green and blue as well as red. So S11, this is the one, the 28.5 particular resonant is happening, and then the S2131 is showing in this transmission coefficient. And then this is the fabricated the mixer design. Here you can see this the frequency versus this amplitude, all those things. And also this again you can see this balanced mixer, so double balanced mixer. So previously we saw only single one, so this is the double balanced mixer. Here you can see this diode with the MSG 904 specified diodes are used in this particular design. Here in between connected the diodes. So like that, so different shapes of these mixers are connected. And this is the insertion loss as well as the reflection coefficient or return loss calculated using this graph. We can see They simulated the measured results of the S11 and S21, S31 is combined through this graph. And this is the insertion return loss of this frequency up to 110 GHz. So 5 to 110 GHz designed in this. And then so some of the designed planar transmission links are shown in this. Actually, these are the two books, the fundamental books to read the microwave integrated circuits by Professor Bharati Bhatt as well as Stephen Cowell, written. They are retired professors of IIT Delhi. So they wrote very nice book for this microwave integrated strip line, like a transmission line for microwave integrated circuits, and that is two edition actually. One was in New Age, and other one also published edition. Different is some publisher. You can go through these books for the fundamentals of these planar transmission lines. So these are the two fabricated broadband mixers. One was 18 to 28 GHz and 26 to 40 GHz. So using that RT Durite. Then H-plane circuit development, suspended strip line housing design. And we said, so suspended strip line. So strip line is it is sandwiched between two dielectrics and then the center conductor. So as a conductor is in the center of the dielectrics. So every time if you want to integrate this solid state active or passive circuit, so you have to create a hole and then we have to keep the circuit. So that's why that is somewhat difficult compared to the microstrip line. Even this strip line concepts are designed or used in ISRO for the many applications because of this loss is very less compared to the microstrip line. That's why they are using for this satellite applications. Satellites design under they are using the strip line transmission line. So strip line transmission line, suspended strip line. This is the cutoff frequency for this LSM mode. Then this is the example of this. The distance between these two dielectrics, and then this is the 0.254 millimeter. Then epsilon r is used to 2.22, and then the selecting C, this distance, this is 2.35 millimeter, and B, this height of this entire one is 1.2 mm. It is a resonant frequency of 60 GHz. So for this, the dimensions are calculated for the different depths, the different frequency bands, Ka, U band, E band, and W band. These are the dimensions for this entire structure. So this is suspended strip line, then SSL housing construction, the layout of this one. So like that. So these are all the basic the millimeter wave technology. Here you can see some of the filters, wideband filters development. One is these are the specification: pass band and stop band. Or mentions pass band 18 to 40 GHz, stop band minus 60 dB at 15.6 GHz, and pass band ripple is 1 dB. Here you can see the Chebyshev design, 15th order Chebyshev design with the 1 dB ripple. Here you can see these are the different width of the structure, width, the spacing between the two, one, and odd mode of this odd Z0 characteristic impedance, even mode, and then effective epsilon for the odd mode as well as even mode, and then this the wavelength, guide wavelength, the lambda t equal 4. So in this, it is clear that the impedance level can only be realized by broadside coupled lines. So, and then these are this pass band is very narrow. Here you can see this is the fabricated band pass filter. So after the molded one, this one, so the assembled band pass filter, this is the top side as well as bottom side of this filter. You can see inside this assembly. These are the curve is showing the S11 for this particular frequency, the 15 to 35 GHz. Here, the discrepancy is partially due to use of 3.5 millimeter connectors. Because there's so many connectors are there, the connector is a matter for if you are going for the higher frequencies. We cannot use the SMA connector beyond 20 gigahertz. 18 up to 18 gigahertz, we can use SMA connector. Beyond that, we cannot use the SMA connectors. After that, 1 mm connector is there, 1.5 mm, 2 mm, 2.5, 3 mm, 3.5 mm connectors. Like that, so many connectors are there, more than 70 to 80 connectors are available, particularly for this millimeter communication. If we are going for the higher frequencies, we should not use this SMA. We should use the mechanical connectors, that is like a screw type of connectors. The connector cost is very high. If we are going for the very high frequency, at least minimum 40 to 60,000 rupees per connector for the millimeter wave frequencies. Then these are the design procedure for this bandpass filter development for this J inverters, and then they how to calculate the dimensions, as well as this is the inverter these are the length and gap between these two stubs. So here this is the L1, L2, L1 again, like that. The filter bandpass filter is designed with this MIC layout. So, and then these are the J inverters for the different dimensions, and then gap between these two inductors, and then this is the impedance, and then this is a transmission as well as the reflection coefficient, and also the number of order is considered here 3, and the dielectric constant is epsilon is 3.78 for this design, and then bandwidth is 3 GHz. Although it was designed for 140 GHz bandpass filter response. So here you can see this is the fabricated bandpass filter. The transition, actually this is transition to waveguide. You cannot use directly that one. See, this is another type of connectors. The transition doing this, convert that one, and then we can connect that one is the input line. Then balanced mixer, and then this is the conversion losses, and then the frequencies. Then E-plane circuit development. So like that, E-plane circuit for the bandpass filter. So here you can see, and also this is the mixer, power divider, and switches. So this is mixers, and there is the power divider, and these are the SPST, single pole, single through switches using the pin diode. And also these are the other books. One is the Finline CAT for DOS. Actually, this particularly for the Finline, only 2 books are available throughout the world. One is by Professor Bharti Bhatt, and another one is by Meyer. And then this is another book is called for the micro Finline analysis, design, and applications of Finline by Professor Bharti Bhatt and Shivan Kaul. And then CAD of millimeter wave Finlines, also by Professor Bharti Bhatt and Shivan Kaul, written 3 books by our Indian through Arta House. And then so these are the dielectric guide. Actually, the image guide and the insular image guide and non-radiative dielectric guide, NRD, using this dielectric materials. Also, this NRD are mainly for the millimeter wave circuits and systems. So initially the non-radiating NRD was invented by the Japanese, and then so these are some of the dielectric guide circuit development. This is the NRD guide layout, like dielectric strip and then metal plate, then circuit. So this is the central frequency 35 GHz, and then here the design of a bandpass filter in NRD guide with the bandwidth is 1 GHz and the ripple 0.5 dB, and the order of the filter is the 5th order. So this is the layout of this NRD guide bandpass filter. top view and the bottom view, and these are the S parameters with respect to the magnitude as well as space is given for the NRD guides. Then so this is the fabricated bandpass filter with the NRD guide. So this is the dielectric guide circuit development for this mixer, circulator, then modulator, then finally antennas. Okay, so these are all, so many things are there. Just I want to skip fastly for these fundamentals related to this. These are the fabricated this NRD guide at 35 GHz. NRD for this oscillator. Then so in today's talk, I am going to talk about the substrate integrated waveguide antennas, particularly for the millimeter wave. So my main topic is millimeter wave antennas. So hereafter only the topic is beginning. So the beginning are the fundamental of this millimeter antennas. Substrate integrated waveguide is very important. So this is the transmission line is used for the millimeter antennas. So SIW. So SIW is the rectangular. It is looking like a rectangular waveguide or dielectric field waveguide, because there is, if you take rectangular waveguide, that is a metallic hollow tube, and the size is very high. But if you are going for the planar transmission line, the size is very, very small. In that planar transmission line itself, two sides we have to create the holes, and then we have to fill the dielectrics. So that's why it is called a substrate integrated waveguides. So it is similar to the waveguide, but it is the integrated with the dielectrics. So that is what is called a substrate integrated waveguide. So the SIW was invented by KU by Japan scientists. See, the advantages of SIW is lower loss and excellent isolation, high power handling, dominant mode is our T10. It is similar to the rectangular waveguide, and the limitations of this SIW is high manufacturing cost and very large size and difficulties of integration with other components. So this is the structure of SIW, substrate integrated waveguides. Here you can see it is similar to the rectangular waveguide. It is looking like a planar transmission line. So two sides created a hole. So this distance of this hole, the distance between these two holes, that is lambda g by 10. That looks very, very small wavelength. And then the SIW offers all the advantages than the rectangular waveguides. And in addition, the ease of integration, low cost implementation, then size reduction is possible with this SIW compared to the rectangular waveguide. So these are the structure, main structure. This is the dia of this hole, and spacing between these two hole is B, and then the two design rules are fundamental rules are used. One is that distance dia is less than lambda g phi, and then B, the height is B is less than or equal to 2d. So this what was initially the KU, that is the inventor of the substrate integrated waveguide. He published in 2003 the first paper, new concept of high frequency electronics and optoelectronics using this substrate integrated waveguide. Then so this is a relationship between the width and cutoff frequency for this SIW. So you can see this. So this is the microstrip transition with the SIW. So here you can see this tapering with this. This is the microstrip line, and these are the SIW. So this is the cutoff frequency of this SIW. The similar to the rectangular waveguide. Then here some changes with the width as well as the dia of this one and the height of this distance between these two dia at holes. So that is given in this. So C divided by 2 root of epsilon r W minus D square divided by 0.5 into B inverse. So similarly, Fe to T20 C divided by 2 root of epsilon r W minus D square by 1.1 into B minus D cube divided by 6.66 into 6 in that is D square. D is the diameter of holes, C is the velocity of light free space, and then W is the width of the SIW, and P is the pitch of bias. Also, the thickness will affect Q factor of SIW structure. And this is the transition between SIW and planar transmission line. So this is the transition. Here also you can see the microstrip to SIW, and then this is the coplanar waveguide to SIW. So this one also given in the base first paper by KO. And this is the design by HFSS simulator. This is the transition between the microstrip to SIW. This was given in this paper, IOSR, Journal of Electronics and Communication Engineering, in 2012. And substrate integrated circuit, SIC. So SIC is the concept of this SIW with the image guide as well as NRD. So image as well as NRD are very useful, particularly for this substrate integrated waveguide. And then micro machined circuits. So this micro machine, or this is the concept of MEMS, micro electromechanical systems. So particularly for this RF radio frequency, RF MEMS. So here these are the fabrication methods. One is the bulk micro machining and surface micro machining and the Liga process. So this is a bulk micro machining is the concept of the bulky material in the silicon. Bottom of the material can be removed with the orientation of different variations with the angle of 54.7 degrees. So this is this patterning, all those things. So the main advantage of micro machining is the creation of suspended microstrip circuits with controlled air gap using standard microelectronics process, and then reduction in effective electric constant and convenient circuit dimensions in millimeter wave frequencies, and then the maintaining of air gap is not a problem using this micro machining technique. The micro machined antennas using the micro machining fabrication techniques. This is the concept is called micro machined antennas. So microstrip itself, the fabrication techniques are used micro machined or MEMS technologies. That's it's called the micro machined antennas. So the similar design can be done with the microstrip, and then the fabrication process is using the silicon fabrication. So silicon is the base material for this the electric, and then SiO2, the silicon dioxide is the layer is used as above this silicon, and then conductor is used beyond that, above that one. So this is mainly for low loss as well as surface wave eliminated using this micro machine circuits. Then higher radiation efficiency, then dispersion also less compared to the conventional fabrication techniques, and then higher bandwidth, and then less sensitivity to change in epsilon r. Here the silicon epsilon r is given. So that is silicon for the relative dielectric constant 11.7 to 12, and then the last tangent is 10 power minus 3 to 10 power minus 2, and then this then transition design. So this is a transition signal line, particularly this microstrip or coplanar waveguide is used, and these are the membranes, and then this is the ground as well as membrane, and then the signal line. So this is the concept of this micro machining. So this is the bulk micro machining concept for this. So this is the transmission loss and return loss. So S11 and S12 is given in this graph. So you can observe from this, if you take this return loss, so minus 10 dB you can consider. So here you can see this is the reflection coefficient of this one. And here you can see this is the micro machined antennas. So here you can see the feed line, microstrip, radiating patch, and then micro machined cavity below this one, the air cavity between this one. So the radiating patch, and then between this dielectric, this gray color, and then the air cavity is showing in this white color. So silicon dioxide is used. This is the development of micro machined antennas with different dimensional specifications in millimeter is given. The width as well as length, then area, then dimensions of cavity, then the dimensions of cavity of the top as well as the bottom, and then width of coupling transformer, then length of coupling transformer is given. So these are the micro machined antennas of different shapes. It is similar to the conventional microstrip, like circular, triangular, rectangular, square. All the conventional shapes are used for these micro machined antennas also. So this is the micro machined antennas fabricated one. So these are the test results. So this is the circular micro machined microstrip antenna. This is the triangular one. So this one was published in 2008. Then this is the micro machined array antennas. So this is the simulated measured results at 2.45, 2.4 frequency. This is the micro machined antenna arrays at 35 GHz. This is the microstrip array antennas using the micro machine. And also the TLNAS of 64 element array, if you see in this, is resonating at 35 GHz. This is the RF MEMS switches. These are the series as well as shunt switches are given. So in this, two things are given in this side. One end is open and is fixed. So another thing is two sides are fixed. So this is the fixed to fixed switches with the capacitive contact, and then so this is the metal to dielectric. Previous one is metal to metal. So this is the metal to dielectric contact. So this is the so many other investigations are required to design MEMS switches. So this is the like performance size, like profile analysis, electrical responses, and then loss analysis, then power handling capability, the reliability, mechanical response, then transient response, linearity, temperature sensitivity. All these parameters can be designed properly for this development of MEMS switches. So MEMS RF MEMS DC contact switch. So this is the example: single pole, single through switch, RF MEMS switch. You can see in this one end is fixed, another end is open. So this is the metal to metal contact switch. Then this is the switch model design with the enter, and then the MEMS DC contact SP single pole, single through switch structure. You can see. So this is the holes are created in the membrane. So to increase the speed as well as to reduce the size as well as the weight as well as that holes are created. And then the parameters are calculated: actuation voltage, then fundamental mode, isolation, insertion, and return loss are calculated for the single pole, single through switch. This is the simulated results of this actuation voltage and measured one. Actuation voltage is 19 and measured voltage is 35 volts for this design. And then MEMS DC contact high isolation is single pole, single through switch structure. So this is the all this single pole, single through with one end is fixed and another end is open. And then this is the performance summary of the previous structure. Another thing is this another design of single pole, single through switch. This is the parameter comparison. So like that, so many switches, then MEMS reconfigure circuits with the bandpass filters. These are the phase shifters. These are the MEMS phase shifters are designed. This is the phase shift equation. So here you can see the frequency variation, that is a angular frequency, all those things. Okay, so this introduction about this one. So this I am going to discuss about the millimeter antennas another 1 hour. Just a minute, I will share the another PPT. Actually, my main topic is millimeter wave antennas. So this is the main one. So this is the up to 300. So 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. This entire spectrum is RF spectrum. Actually, now this is extending up to 3000 gigahertz. That is millimeter wave frequencies. And then so many applications already told: aeronautics, biomedical, astronomy, positioning, navigation, transportation, environment, telecommunication, agriculture, aerospace, security, electronics. The different applications of this different spectrum. Actually, millimeter wave initially invented by our Indian scientist J.C. Bose. He was the first experiment demonstrated by J.C. Bose in the year 1897. He did at 60 gigahertz at that time itself. Actually, you can see that using that the old microwave component itself, he demonstrated the millimeter wave concept in 1897. So that's why the father of millimeter wave called Dr. J.C. Bose. So this atmospheric attenuation characteristics is already shown: the water level, and then carbon dioxide, oxygen level, all the things in the atmospheric condition. And these are the history of this millimeter wave. It starts from 1960s, radio astronomy to military application, 1970, 1980 millimeter wave, ICs for commercial applications in 1990s, consumer-oriented use of millimeter wave above 40 GHz. In 2003, FCC authorized, Federal Communication authorized 57 to 64 GHz, 71 to 76 GHz, 81 to 86 GHz for licensed to point-to-point communications. And then mainly the millimeter wave is promising technology for radar communications and cellular systems also. This is the market of millimeter wave technology from 2014 to 2020. You can observe a very drastical the increasing demand of this millimeter wave technology. You can see in the year 2019, 20, 21 and all, it is very drastical changes, increasing the level of the usage of the millimeter wave components devices. Then radio spectrum is still rather undeveloped for this particular thing. Then more bandwidth is available, particular millimeter wave frequency band, and then high data rates are available, and then the security and privacy is better at a millimeter wave compared to the microwave frequency bands. Then capability of spectrum and is more immune to interference, and then extremely high frequencies allow multiple short distances and requires the narrow beam width. Then reduces the hardware size, because if you are going the very high frequencies, the size of the device is very small. Then higher the frequency, smaller the antenna size. So these are some of the limitation of disadvantage of these millimeter waves: the high cost in manufacturing, the extremely high frequency, significant attenuation, the millimeter waves, long distance applications, and the penetration power of millimeter wave concentrated box is known less than in interferences with oxygen and rain also. Because of during the rain as well as the oxygen, then the signal strength will reduce particular atmospheric condition. And also the millimeter waves and terahertz applications, particularly for the medical applications, like millimeter wave and terahertz imaging for medical diagnostics for the different cancer detections, and then the security, even in the airport security nowadays, they are using X-rays only for the security purpose. If they are using the terahertz images, the more accurately can be detected. Here you can see that the passenger can hit the gun, even sometimes cannot be detected using the X-rays, but they using these terahertz images, we can very accurately detect. And then material research with non-destructive minority things, and then image guides, and then millimeter wave images, then broadband WLAN, and then astrophysics and all we can use. Then communications, you can see 802.11 series, and then WLAN, WPAN, automotive radar, and then telecommunication background, then consumers wireless LAN, then military applications, all those things. Then these are challenges of millimeter technologies. There is so many challenges. That's why this the cartoon is showing this the elephant that which big level of challenges are there for this thing, like high power is the challenges, and even the loss are also, then path loss, so many things. So these things, 60 GHz are the millimeter waves will be the solution for this, particularly for this beamforming, all those things. So these are different generations. Initially, the first generation, all the metal wavegates used. Then second generations, the microwave integrated circuits, MICs, and then third generations, the particularly hybrid monolithic microwaves and monolithic microwave integrated circuits, MMICs are used. Then fourth generation, the LTCC and MMIC, MEMS-based RFICs. So what is the next technology? That is substrate integrated circuits for this. It's the fifth generation. SICs. Already shown this SIW. How before this one it is like a rectangular gate. So after that, using the planar transmission, the holes are created, the sides of two walls, and then the walls that holes are filled with the dielectrics. With the conductors like copper, like that we have to fill. And then the first SIW demonstrated by Keiwu and Deslands in Japan. And then this is the relative loss size of the different the Q factors, and then the superconductors, and then some advantages comparison. So initial how the design of SIWs, we can consider this structure. So this is the beginning base fundamental SIW. So initially the cutoff frequency is resonant frequency or central frequency, that is f0 by 1.5, and then A is C divided by 2fc, and then effective width is A divided by width of epsilon r, and then SIW width, and then effective, that is equal to effective width plus d square dia of that one, and 0.995 into P. And then this was calculated for the beginning the everything. So cutoff frequency, then A W effective width, and then SIW width can be calculated using these equations. And then choice of the substrate. So different substrates, particularly FR4 cannot be advisable. Can be used RT Duride 5880, then Rogers 4350, that is 3.66, then glass Pyrex, that is 4.82. Then these are the last tangent are given. Comparatively, the RT Duride, the epsilon r 2.2 is very less last tangent, that is 0.0009 compared to the other substrate. Then the reflection coefficient is given, and then the insertion loss, then coupling loss, and then isolation, the maximum resonance bandwidth, dielectric loss, everything is compared in this. So RT Duride is better for compared to other dielectrics. And then this is a thickness of the copper, that is 5 into skin depth. So skin depth can be calculated, this basic equation, like 1 by root of pi f mu sigma. Then F is variable frequency as well as the permeability. Then conductor. Suppose if you are using copper as a conductor, so 5.8 into 10 power 7 mho, that is Simon per meter or mho per meter can be used for this one. Then we can substitute, and then we can calculate this skin depth. Then we can calculate the thickness of the copper. So thickness is T is equal to 5 into skin depth. So the height of the substrate is 5.508 millimeter. Thickness of the conductor is 0.035 millimeter or 35 microns. So the importance of 60 GHz. So if you consider this particular frequency, unlicensed frequency band 57 to 64 GHz, so in that 60 is the resonant frequency considered for the short range application for high data rates as well as broadband applications, and then particularly for the G5 as well as WLAN automotive radars or automotive applications, it can be used for the atmospheric one. And then this is substrate integrated waveguide. Then so this is the simple SIW design. How to design the dominant mode T10 with using the cutoff frequency for the rectangular waveguide. Similar equations, formulas are used. And then dimensions can be calculated. So S by D is less than 2.5. Then SIW, active components and passive components, even antennas are possible. So active components, easy integration of active elements like feedback oscillators, mixers, frequency selectors, and power amplifiers. Then passive components like design for passive components like filters, directional couplers, magic key, etc. And then SIW antennas like SIW horn antennas, SIW slant antennas, leaky wave antennas, SIW antennas can be possible. This is the comparison between different SIW antennas like horn patch as then slot leaky wave antennas, the frequency as well as different terahertz range. Like this is less than 1 terahertz, means up to 100 gigahertz is possible. Then so like that, different things, gain, cost, fabrication size. So these are some of the literatures done for our research contribution, particularly SIW. So different techniques are available in literature. So some techniques like superset array types, then SIW feed, SIW cavity, hemisphere, that is half mode SIW, then quasi mode SIW. All these things compared to one just so through the literature, we got some motivation like millimeter waves are essential for wireless applications like 5G, automotive radars, and image sensors and biomedical applications. So for high frequency applications, the microstrips are not suitable due to the smaller wavelength. So with the SIW transition with microstrip is possible. Simple microstrip lane is not possible for the higher frequencies due to the so many losses. Here, these are the narrow bandwidth, moderate impedance matching, then less gain, complex design, large antenna design. So, objective of this research is particularly considered 57 to 64 gigahertz resonant frequency of 60 gigahertz, and also used to microstrip transition to SIW antennas, and also in particular applications like military communication like G5 or WLAN automotive radar applications are used. So in this, the design parametric analysis is done, then simulation use CST Micro Studio, and then fabrication characteristics is also done. This is the process flow of the design, like choosing the substrate materials or different materials, then parametric analysis, simulation using the electromagnetic tool, and then validate the results. If it is a yes, we have to consider the fabrication characterization, and then we have to finish the design. So this is the MATLAB code for finding the SIW components like parameters like width, diameter, hole diameter, the spacing between the two holes for different frequencies. So this is the MATLAB coding. So using that, we have to calculate the dimensions. So we calculated the dimensions of D dia, and then spacing between the two dia, and then SIW width and the length are calculated. This is the catching parameters at 60 GHz. We can see this is up to minus 40, 50 dB is showing. So research contribution in these two modules. One is the microstrip transition to SIW based antennas. The microstrip SIW based cavity packed slant antennas are done in this research. So micro transition to SIW based slant antennas. So these are the standard formulas used in this design to calculate the W by H and the A, B, all those things. Then microstrip tapering. See the length of tapering also calculated. Then microstrip tapering to the rectangular waveguide. So rectangular slot fit, that is compared with lambda by 4 less than or equal to W less than or equal to lambda by 2. Then rectangular slot length is LAZ is less than or equal to W3, and then W by 3, and then circular slot radius is lambda by 4 less than or equal to R less than or equal to lambda by 2. First design we did a crown shaped SIW slant antenna. So this is the transition, micro transition. This is the SIW. We did the transition to the microstrip SIW. In that crown shape patch was introduced. See these holes particularly for the connectors. Actually here we cannot connect the SMA connectors because of this is done with designed with 60 GHz. So 60 GHz is not done. It's up to 18 only is, that SMA connectors are used. So here we used mechanical connectors. So the backside also you can see this hole. And these are the parameters specifications we designed, and this is the scattering parameter of this designed proposed design, and then this is the VSWR. VSWR is meeting the required level, was 1.5, less than 1.5, less than 2. And then this is the three-dimensional radiation pattern. So you can see the maximum gain is at 60 GHz, 6.58 dB, and then this is the surface current. And these are the two-dimensional radiation characteristics that phi is equal to 0 as well as theta is equal to 0, and then 90 degrees. You can see the radiation characteristics 60 GHz, and then reflection coefficient is the simulated one, and then measured is 60 GHz. Similarly, the VSWR simulated measured one. So these are the values are given. The second one is Hutch-shaped spaced head-shaped SAW antennas. So here we introduced in this design badge like similar to the Hutch-shaped SAW antennas, and then see these are the parameters calculated using the basic formulas, and then these are the scattering parameter analysis at 60 GHz. It is showing around minus 38 dB, and then this VSWR is meeting at 1. The maximum gain is at 60 GHz. It's observed. It is a 66.8 dBi. Similarly, for the different width, we varied the different width like W1, W2, W3, W4, W5. So different widths varied, and then the results are analyzed. Parametric results are got, and then this is the surface current for this different width, and then the reflection coefficient with different thing. And see, another design is called U and V shaped SAW slant antennas. So here you can see U as well as V shape was introduced in this SAW, and so this is the design, and this is the fabricated one using the RT Durag 2.2 we used for the fabrication of this U and V shaped antennas. And then these are the scattering parameters, VSWR, then surface current, then radiation characteristics, and reflection coefficient compared to the simulated and measured result. This is exactly matching VSWR as well as the one. So this is the ROC equivalent circuit model for this SAW components. The three LC circuits we can show this one. So RCL. So RS2 is at not delta 1 by magnitude of S11 square minus 1 ohms, and then capacitance and then inductance can be calculated with these equations. And this is the flow chart of this simulation as well as ROC circuit model with MATLAB. Theoretically, we calculated all these values, and then we done with the MATLAB also, CST as well as compare all those things. So we got this reflection coefficient. Then I-shaped SAW slant antenna. So in this also, so different parameters analyzed. Then these are the values, dimensions of this one from the formulas, and then this is the reflection coefficient at two resonant frequencies are got in this. One is at around 60 point, and then another is 57.5. That got the another one is 60.7 GHz. Then gain also is getting maximum of 9 dBi. There is the surface current as well as two-dimensional radiation characteristics, and then the reflection coefficient of the simulated and measured results. Some small deviation is there due to some variations of this one, and then this is the equivalent circuit model RLC for this proposed design. So another design is like anchor shaped SAW slant antenna. So here you can see the microstrip transition with the SAW. This anchor shaped patch was introduced in this design. You can see. See every size you can see around 1.5 centimeter only. The antenna size is 1.5 centimeter by 1 or 1.2 centimeter only actually. Not 1.2, where less than 1.2, 1 centimeter antenna size. This is similar to our finger size of antennas was developed at 60 GHz. So there's a reflection coefficient of this proposed design. One is at 58 GRS, another is 61.2 GRS. The VSWR is closely matching with 1.1 and then 1.2. Then the gain is around 8.2 dBi gain, and then the surface current. Surface current is maximum at 8 amps per liter, and then this the two-dimensional E field as was explained. This is the reflection coefficient. And then this is the table is comparison of simulator measure results of this proposed design with reflection coefficient VSWR. Then this is the RLC equal circuit model for the proposed design. The resistance and capacitance inductance is calculated, and then this theoretically calculation PCST simulation. The theoretical that using the mathematical one, using the equivalent model like MATLAB circuit model we used, and then this is another design is called the Venus-shaped SAW slat antenna. So here you can see the similar microstrip transition with the SAW. Then the Venus shape is designed for this patch. Then it's also fabricated. So these are the parameters and then values, dimensions of this shape. So here all the reflection coefficient VSWR, and it's a different dia also. This is the surface current, two-dimensional, then gain showing this plot, and then our equal circuit model. So comparison with all these things, first module, so the SAW slant antennas. So compared with this literature, you can see so our proposed design, 6 designs are done. So in that you can see almost we compared with all similar substrate. In that our size got reduced. Then you can see 14 by 7.9 by 0.381. So 0.381 is the substrate thickness, and then this is the length and width of the antenna, millimeter antenna. So comparatively reduce the size, and then the bandwidth also improved. The second module is the micro transition to SAW cavity packed slat antenna. So here we introduced the cavities, the back sides for the design. So first design was E-shaped SAW slat antenna. So here you can see the E-shape was patches introduced in this. The cavities are inserted at the back side exactly this SAW. You can see the back side. So these are the parameters and then dimensions. There is a reflection coefficient and the VSWR. Then three-dimensional radiation characteristics 60 GRS. It's showing maximum was 8.52 dBi gain. And then the scattering parameters of this proposed design with the 60 GHz. For different width is varied, and then for different like W1, W2, W3, so different widths and then scattering parameters are analyzed. Then surface field current is showing a 87.2 milliamps amps per meter the current flow, and then radiation characteristics at the two-dimensional of E plane as well as H plane is showing. And the second design, inverted T-shape SAW slant antennas. So this also like inverted T-shape was introduced in this, and then so these are the parameters and then dimensions, and then these are reflection coefficient, and also they varied at different width, and the parameter results are analyzed for the surface current, radiation characteristics, gain, all the comparison between the simulated and the measured results. Then RLC equivalent circuit model we did for this proposed design. The next one is the Neptune shaped SAW slant antennas. This is the Neptune shape. This slant was introduced in this. This is fabricated, and then these are the parameter analysis specifications, and then these are the results like the reflection coefficient, the VSWR, the gain, the surface current, and then two-dimensional of the E plane and H plane, and then the reflection coefficient simulated and measured results are compared in this VSWR also similarly. Then the RLC equal circuit model. Then flower shaped slant antennas. So here you can see, so that in the patch we introduced the flower shape. So you can see this. So in this is the first one. So then this is the developed one. So here you can see that this smart pass introduced in this SAW. Here back cavity back was used, and then so these are reflection coefficient of two VSWR, then gain, the parametric dimensions, and then surface current, then two-dimensional E plane, H plane, then simulated measured reflection coefficient VSWR. So another design is called back-to-back pie-shaped antenna, a slat antenna, a cerebral antenna. So two pie shapes are introduced in this. This that also used for the cavity backed slat antennas. So these are the results. The RLC components. Then another design is called a glass shaped cerebral slant antenna. So glass shape was introduced in this, this is the cavity back, and then these are the fabricated prototype and the parameter analysis and the values. And then these are reflection coefficient and VSWR, then gain. So these are the surface current and the radiation characteristics of two-dimensional E plane and S plane radiation pattern. And then these are the simulated measures of reflection coefficient and VSWR. Then RLC equal circuit model was analyzed particularly for that particular frequency, and because of the length and width is varying for that one, so we can calculate using that length and width. We have to calculate the RLC. So this is the comparison between the existing structure with the proposed design, the second module with the cavity backed slat antennas. So in that you can see, observe that compared with the literature, so size was drastically reduced, and then so many advantages also, increased bandwidth. So the conclusion of this presentation, so here we introduced microstrip transistors to SAW based antennas, slat antennas plus cavity backed slat antennas. So in that, among all these designs, the proposed design, sixth design. So in that, Venus shape is giving more bandwidth as well as the moderate gain compared to all other structures. And then similarly, proposed design 4 I shape also gives moderate bandwidth and moderate gain compared to all other structures. And then compared with our RLC equivalent circuit model that is introduced for 4 models, U1B, I shape, anchor shape, the Venus shape design. SAW based cavity backed slant antennas in the proposed design 6 gives more bandwidth and moderate gain, and then RLC model also introduced for the E shape and other. In compared to the 2 modules, the SAW cavity backed slant antennas are gives good radiation patterns as well as also the glass shaped with the SAW cavity gives more bandwidth, and also it is used for millimeter wave communication, wireless communication application like WLAN, G5. Particularly at 60 GHz. These are all WLAN as well as G5, and then automotive radar applications. Also here the data rate gives up to 10 Gbps, and the coverage ranging is 10 meters to 100 meters. The feature scope, it can be extended, the SAW array also. Array based slant antennas is the best solution for improving the gain, as well as the metamaterial based slant antennas, SAW slant antenna also improving the gain and bandwidth. And also it can be extended to include for the other unlicensed frequency bands like 70 GHz band E band, and then automotive radar systems like 79 GHz, 80 GHz E band, and then 94 GHz millimeter wave imaging also. Also it can be extended to dual and dry band unlicensed frequency bands, and then it can be extended to implement the high frequency applications, even particularly for the terahertz also we can introduce. And these are the references. I can give acknowledgement to my professor and group, Professor S. Raghavan, senior professor retired, currently visiting professor of NIT Trichy, and also my PhD student, Dr. Nandakumar, as associate professor in Civil Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. He only did this research, particularly SAW millimeter wave antennas. So I thank both of them. So I thank you. So for this.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a great effort that you have taken towards reaching out to this forum. May now call Kaushik sir to read out the queries.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. The few queries from the participant, Professor Surender U. What is meant by ultra broadband, sir? How can we mention it as ultra broadband, sir?
Ultra broadband means, see, ultra wideband is there. That is the 3.1 to 10.6. That is called ultra wideband. So beyond that, that is called ultra broadband. So ultra broadband comes under millimeter waves only. So it is like a super wideband like that. So it is ultra wideband. So it is beyond the UWB. Okay.
Kaushik sir.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
The forum is open for interaction. Dear participants, kindly post your queries.
Participants, if you want to ask anything to sir, you can get it clarified. Come out very well, please. If there are questions, we are ready to answer. Otherwise, we shall move further. Participants, am I audible? Kaushik sir.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, the forum is open for interaction. Kindly you may post your queries. Sir, the another query from the Professor Muthuramya madam. Where can we get the mechanical connector, sir?
Mechanical connectors are available in other countries like Taiwan as well as US also they are having. So the Amphenol is also having. So we can order through online and can get it. So that is cost around good mechanical connectors means minimum 50 to 60,000 is very good connectors are available.
Thank you, sir. Any other queries? Mohan sir. Yes. Another query from the Professor Jayanti Perumal. Sorry, Mohan sir. One more question.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Sir, please mention the places in India where the millimeter wave antennas can be measured.
In India, millimeter wave antennas can be measured in IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi is having up to 110 gigahertz measurement facilities are available in IIT Delhi, and then even IIT Kharagpur, and then in Bangalore also, Bell Bangalore. Actually, we measured in Bangalore only. Bell Bangalore is having the facilities of millimeter wave up to 57 to 64 gigahertz they have. We measured there only.
ஒரு மீட்டிங் முடிச்ச உடனே கூப்பிடலாமா? சாரி, நான் கூப்பிட்டுமா?
Sir Mohan sir, please can you put up your mute?
It is there in India, and then even in Dehradun also in the DRDO is there. So they have up to 220 gigahertz, and then Samir Kolkata is having up to 110 gigahertz facilities there. Samir Kolkata is having. So these are the facilities are available in India, particularly for the millimeter wave communication.
Thank you very much, sir. So one more query from the participant, Professor Vanita Kabas. How thickness effect of antenna affects on beam forming, sir? How thickness affect? It affects the antenna on beam forming.
Beam forming, see thickness. See if you are the low thickness means the efficiency is more, but some losses may be occurred. Beam forming also, if we are reducing the thickness, the beam forming will be more effective. If we are increasing the thickness, the beam forming effect will be there, more effect will be there. So you have to use the less thickness. Low thickness is more suitable for the beam forming also.
Thank you, sir. The final question from the participant, Professor Maheshwaran. Sir, any ideas for MEMS to be incorporated in millimeter wave antenna design?
MEMS, no? See, beginning itself, I presented the micro machined antennas for the millimeter wave applications, no? So in that itself, MEMS is more useful for the millimeter wave antennas, no? Millimeter applications. So that's why you can use MEMS as a fabrication aspect for the millimeter wave antennas. So very useful. So you can use, instead of this substrate, we have to use the silicon is the substrate for the instead of this RT duroid. Now you have to use the silicon as a substrate. I already mentioned 11.7 to 12.5 is the epsilon r for the silicon. So you have to use the epsilon r different silicon based materials, because the different silicon wafer is having the different epsilon r. So it depends upon the industry standard. You have to collect that. You have to purchase the wafer, silicon wafers, and then we have to do all the fabrication facilities. The fabrication facilities are available in India. One is in IIC Bangalore, Sense Laboratory, and then IIT Bombay is having. And then very recently, IIT Madras started the Micro Nano Research Center, and then IIT Hyderabad is having, and then Sitar Vessels in Bangalore, and then in Delhi also, IIT Delhi also having the facilities. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Kaushik, I'm sorry I had a call in between, that's why I disturbed you. I'm sorry. Sir, it was a wonderful presentation. I have taken seriously notes from the foundations of millimeter wave technology, starting from why millimeter wave, what are the applications of them, particularly about medical, biomedical applications, bioelectromagnetic applications, whatnot, the smooth migration to transmission lines models, the mode of propagation, surface wave propagation. I amazed really about the materials and their, including RT duroid, epsilon r with 2.2, or broadband microstrip line developments, or the need for safely enclosing the millimeter wave circuits, and mixer design, balloon design, particularly about ultra broadband microstrip developments, reference to the books, or design of SSL, or the filter layouts, what you have given. All those things are really found to be really amazing, particularly the way in which the SIW to microstrip or planar line migrations, SIC fabrication, micro machined antennas, or MEMS switch models, or the shapes, whatever you have mentioned, H, U, V, RLC equivalent shapes, I shape or anchor shaped, corrugated ALTS, amazing, sir. Really, I really don't have words to convey my gratitude to you, sir. I still remember the smiling face with which you used to deal with all our people. We had a chance to be with you during our young age, particularly at the time of my postgraduate studies. I'm really gifted to have you. Thank you so much. May I now welcome our Professor Billard, Professor Dr. Lydia Madam, to propose vote of thanks. The formal vote of thanks, 1 or 2 seconds, sir, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohan, for the elaborated. Okay, thank you very much. Feedback. Okay.
Very good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this session. I thank the Almighty for giving me this opportunity. I thank our Honorable Secretary, Shri S. Ravindran sir, without whose wholehearted support and appreciation, this FTP would not have matched towards this level. I thank you, sir, for your moral support to conduct this FTP program. Next, I thank our dynamic principal, Dr. D. Valavan sir, for giving full support and valuable guidance to conduct this FTP. I take this opportunity to thank our beloved Dean R&D, Dr. Y. Venkatramani sir, for his support and encouragement in conducting this FTP. I thank our HOD and co-chair of this Atal FTP program, Dr. M. Shanti ma'am, for her kind support and encouragement in conducting the program. I thank the resource person of this session, Dr. T. Shanmuganandam sir, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Pondicherry University, Puducherry, for accepting our invitation to be part of this program and to deliver the lecture on millimeter wave antenna design techniques. It was highly informative and excellent session, sir. I am sure that the participants will definitely be benefited. I thank the convener, Dr. V. Mohan sir, Associate Professor of ECE Department, for the arrangement and conduction of this Atal FTP program. I thank the coordinators of this program, Mr. V. Kaushik sir and Mr. S.T. Sairam sir, for their wonderful efforts in arranging this session. Also, I extend my thanks to all the participants of the session for their participation, without which this session could not be a success. I once again thank everyone for making this program successful. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. It's a great to see the last slide. Particularly, you have shown the courtesy to our Professor Raghavan sir and SK Gaul. A day before, 1 or 2 days prior to this session, we had a chance to have a professor, PhD student of Mr. SK Gaul inside our forum. That we are really thankful to you. We are really happy to have you inside this session, sir. For our kind invitation, you have really kindly consented to present your materials, and it was highly informative. I'm really challenging because nowadays people will ask for PPTs. I hope people will ask for this PPT more in detail. Definitely, we will upload the video lecture in the Atal Academy website.
Okay.
For the remaining formalities, I'll contact you through email and phone, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Kaushik also. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. With your permission, shall we wind up the session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lance?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dear participants, kindly enroll your attendance cum feedback in the given link. Please carefully submit your FDP reference ID in the form. I once again repeat, dear participants, kindly enroll your attendance cum feedback in the given link. The link is shared in the Google chat box. We request you to all kindly join for next session at 2:30 p.m.
Kaushik sir, kind attention. Could you please
Yes, sir.
elaborate the plan what we have in the afternoon? Because by 2:30 we have to begin again as usual, and by 2:30 by